out onto the sidewalk. He heard a couple of people talking about Mount Lassen and how they would try to escape Susanville if the volcano was to explode. After that, Will walked down Main Street and stepped onto a curb. Then a strange-looking person walked up to Will and asked if he were there, asked if he knew where there were any fun places to go in the pornography district. Will couldn't tell if the person was a guy or a girl. It started acting super friendly to Will and said that his name was Butch. "Are you from this planet?" asked Will, trying to get away from him. "Oh, sure. I'm a Nibtan, if that is what you mean." Will started walking off quickly, but Butch whimpered, "Hey, come back. I'm not going to bite." Will walked off down the street and tried to hitch a ride from one of the flying cars, but no one was stopping for him. Will then decided to walk up Main Street and look out over Susanville from Inspiration Point to see if he could find anything worth exploring in the strange new town. As he walked up Main Street, he passed by Lassen High School. The teenagers looked like 10-year-olds. Will asked the age of one of the students, and the girl he asked said she was 16. Will could have sworn that she was 8 or 9 at the most. Will then realized that the drug that protected everyone from radiation poisoning and death was also interfering with the normal growth of children. Will was now wondering how they would ever be able to develop into adulthood in the first place. An hour later, Will was walking up North Pine Street to get to Inspiration Point. He was going to check out the area where his friends used to live. A minute later, Will walked up to the house of 395 North Pine, and it was completely different, like everything else. For one thing, the house had been burned down a long time ago in a forest fire, and was replaced with a futuristic cabin-type house with solar collectors on it. The large fence that used to surround the front yard was gone, and replaced with an ugly steel gate to keep out intruders. Will asked the people of the new house if they knew anybody by the name of Ramsey who used to own the place, and they said they didn't. After looking out over Susanville from Inspiration Point and seeing all the strange new stuff, like teleportation centers on the hills and a space tower on Diamond Mountain, Will decided to go to Jim's house. It was almost nighttime when he knocked on the door of Jim's riverside house. "Oh," said Jim, "so you really did take my word for granted." "Oh, you mean you didn't want me here?" asked Will with a sick feeling in his stomach. "What?" asked Jim. Will started to back out of the door, but Jim stopped